Hi guys, it's Miss Condos. I thought that I would read a story on the computer today and share my screen with you guys. It's from a website that I found online that I will share with your families, so that you guys can be reading these books too. It's called Oxford Owl. I am going to start by reading The Frog Prince, and we're going to take a look at the table of contents to find out what other stories are in this book. Here's the deal. We've talked about tables of contents before. When you have a table of contents, usually it's in a nonfiction book, but this is a fiction book, because a frog can't really be a prince. So in a nonfiction book, usually it has chapters and it tells you at the beginning where you can find each thing. In this story, since there's a few stories in this book, it tells you what page to turn to get that story. Today, we're just going to read the first story, though, The Frog Prince, and then we will log on for the next one and the following one and stuff like that, all right? But for right now, I just want to read to you guys The Frog Prince. Once upon a time, and it shows you the sequence of events. If you remember what a sequence of events is, go ahead and tell mom or dad, or tell a brother or sister. Maybe just whisper it out loud so that you can remind yourself. Okay, a sequence of events is a series of things that happen. First what happens, next what happens, then what happens, finally what happens. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 events that they think are key details or key events in this story. So let's go ahead and start reading. The Frog Prince, written by Pippa Goodhart, illustrated by Yannick Robert. So the illustrator does what? I hope you said draws the pictures, because totally. All right, so we're going to turn to the next page. Long ago and far away, there lived a princess. On her birthday, the queen said, "I promise to give you any toy you want." "I want a ball made of gold," said the princess. "There are no balls made of gold," said the queen, "but a promise is a promise," said the princess. So the queen had a ball of gold made for the princess. One day, the princess was playing with her ball, but the ball fell into the pond. "I have lost my ball made of gold," said the princess. She began to cry. A small frog hopped over to the princess. "I can get your ball back," said the frog. "Frogs can't talk," said the princess. "Well, I can," said Frog. "I want you to think in your brains how you would feel if you met a talking frog. Would you be excited? Would you be kind of scared? Would you be confused? How would you be feeling if you were the princess right now?" "I will get your ball back," said the frog, "but only if you make me a promise." What kind of promise do you guys think he'll ask? "I will promise anything you like," said the princess. "You can even have my crown." "A frog has no need for a crown," said Frog. "What do you want then?" said the princess. "I want you to promise to be my friend," said Frog. "Easy," said the princess. "I will do that." So Frog jumped into the pond. He got the ball back just as he had promised. "Now we will be friends," he said. The princess grabbed the ball. She did not say thank you to Frog. "Hey," said Frog, "what about your promise?" But the princess just ran away. Oh. Later, as the princess ate her supper, she heard a sound. "What's that?" said the queen. "Nothing," said the princess. Tip tap. What do you guys think the sound is based off the picture? You can use those context clues to figure it out. "Open the door," said the queen. "No, please don't," said the princess. Tip tap. The queen opened the door. "Oh no," said the princess. Frog came into the room. "Good evening," he said. "What do you want, Frog?" said the queen. "I want the princess to be my friend, just as she promised," said Frog. "I can't be friends with a cold, wet frog," said the princess. "A promise is a promise," said the queen. So Frog sat at the table and ate supper from a plate made of gold. "Now will you go back to the pond?" said the princess. "A real friend wouldn't let me stay," said Frog. "A promise, or would let me stay," said the frog. "A promise is a promise." So the princess took Frog up to the bedroom. "You can sleep in a nice box," said the princess. "A real friend would let me sleep on her pillow," said Frog. So the princess put Frog on her pillow. Boing! As he sat on the pillow, magic happened. Frog grew and grew, and he changed into a boy. "Who are you?" said the princess. "I am a prince," said the boy. "A witch turned me into a frog. The only thing that could turn me back into a prince was somebody being a good friend to me." "But I was a bad friend," said the princess. "I didn't like you at first." "You were a good friend," said the prince. "You gave me food. You even let me sit on your pillow." The princess and the prince became real friends. They liked to play with the ball made of gold, but they never went near the pond. When they grew up, the prince and princess got married. They promised to love each other forever, and they did love each other forever and ever. After all, a promise is a promise. So I want you guys to think about this story. I want you to think about the series of events that we saw at the very beginning. Okay. I also want you guys to think a little bit about the moral of this story. What is this story teaching you? I think that it's teaching you to be kind to others. It's teaching you to not judge a book by its cover, so to maybe get to know somebody first before you judge them. And I also think that it's teaching you to keep your promises. If you promise something to someone else, then you should keep that. All right? I loved reading this book with you guys, and I'm excited to read more.